What if I told you that the majority of startup failures are caused by one single mistake? It's not the product, it's not the funding, it's looking for customers in all the wrong places. What if your first 100 most valuable customers are hiding out there, online, in these hyper-specific niches that your competitors are completely ignoring? Well, today, we are unpacking a seriously powerful guerrilla tactic called niche hunting. It's how you find those first, absolutely crucial customers. Just let that sink in for a second. Most founders, they blame a bad product, a weak team, or running out of cash. But the real, fundamental error that just sinks venture after venture is much simpler. They go fishing for their audience in the huge, noisy ocean of the mass market. It's a mistake of location. It's a total failure of focus. And here's the secret. These customers aren't just hiding. They are actively, and I mean desperately, searching for a solution that you can provide. And they group together. They cluster in these very specific online corners that your competition has no idea even exist. This is not about finding any customer. It's about finding the right ones. The ones who will become your biggest fans, your evangelists, because you solve a problem for them that is acute and urgent. And that right there brings us to the core idea of this entire explainer, the great paradox of acquisition. We've all been taught to believe that to get big, you have to launch big, right? You need this massive initial reach. But the real truth, is that the path to exponential growth, to building something that truly matters, begins with microscopic precision. It all starts with a strategy called niche hunting. So here's our game plan for today. We're gonna start by really unpacking that one big mistake and the economic crisis that made this whole new way of thinking a necessity. Then we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty, the 4-step hunting system, the psychology behind why it works so well, and an actual playbook you can use. And we'll wrap it all up by looking at the incredible power of this super precise approach. Okay, let's dive right in and diagnose the real problem. You see, early-stage companies, they look at giants like Nike or Apple, and they try to copy their mass market playbook. They cast this enormous net, hoping to catch, well, anyone and everyone. But this is a massive trap. It assumes you have a perfect, finished product and a giant budget. And if you're a startup, you have neither of those things. So you end up just shouting into a hurricane, totally unheard and pretty soon broke. This right here is the critical mindset shift. You are not looking for a broad demographic like males 18 to 35. No, you are hunting for an ideal customer. And this definition is everything. They exist in small, identifiable groups. Their pain isn't just some minor annoyance, it is acute, it is urgent. And here's the most important part. Their need for a fix is so powerful that they will gladly tolerate your imperfect, early-stage product. These are the people who give you the feedback, the validation, and the first bits of traction that you desperately need to survive. Now, this strategy, it wasn't some clever idea someone just had in the shower one day. It was literally born from a crisis. Over the last decade or so, the cost of reaching people online has just skyrocketed. It's created a world where traditional advertising has become financial suicide for new businesses. This economic pressure, it forced a smarter, more surgical approach to come to life. And this is the economic engine that changed the entire game. As platforms like Google and Facebook got more and more crowded, the cost to acquire a customer, what we call your CAC, it just went through the roof. Think about it, that's the money you have to spend on ads and sales just to get one new person to pay you. Pouring money into broad ads meant paying a huge premium to reach millions of people who couldn't care less, just to find the handful that did. It became a recipe for burning cash with absolutely nothing to show for it. And this chart just illustrates the strategic difference perfectly. It's night and day. On the left, you've got mass marketing. Super high cost, really low signal. It's a guessing game based on broad demographics. But on the right, you have niche hunting. Super low cost, incredibly high signal. You're not guessing anymore. You're targeting specific behaviors. And that leads to super fast validation of your product without torching your bank account. It's about investing your time and your insight, not just your money. So this new approach means we have to define our target in a totally new way. Forget age, location, income, that's the old way. Instead, you have to focus on these behavioral attributes. Ask yourself these questions. Is your potential customer ready? Are they fully aware they have this problem? Are they willing? Are they out there right now actively trying to fix it? And are they able? Do they have the money or authority to adopt a solution today? This shift from who they are to what they do is the absolute foundation of niche hunting. Okay, so we get the why. We understand the problem. Now, let's get into the how. And this isn't guesswork or luck. It is a systematic, repeatable process. We're going to walk through the 4 core steps that take you from just a general idea to actually engaging one-on-one with your first high-value customers. And here they are. It's a 4-step dance. First, you define your ideal customer profile, your ICP, based on those behaviors we just talked about. Second, you map out exactly where these people gather online to complain about their problem. Third, you mine their exact language. And fourth, you engage with them directly, not to sell, but to help. Now let's zoom in on the 2 most critical steps here, the mapping and the mining. The key word here is precision. Problem channel mapping isn't about finding every single forum on the internet. No way. It's about identifying those 5 to 10 digital watering holes, specific subreddits, Discord servers, maybe a Slack community, where the emotional monologue about your target problem is happening 24/7. You are going to the source of the pain. Now, once you've found these channels, you don't just jump in and start pitching your product. You listen. You become a lurker. This is VOC, or Voice of Customer Mining. It's the art of strategic eavesdropping. You systematically copy and paste the exact words, the phrases, the emotional adjectives your potential customers use to describe their problem. This isn't just data, my friends. This is the key that unlocks a message so resonant, they will feel like you have literally read their mind. So, we have this system, but why is it so ridiculously effective? Why does this quiet, guerrilla tactic outperform massive, expensive ad campaigns? Well, the answer lies in 2 really powerful psychological principles that this approach just leverages perfectly. It helps you bypass all that skepticism and ad blindness that we've all built up. This is the main engine right here, the relevance heuristic. Basically, our brains are wired to filter out 99% of the noise around us and pay laser-focused attention to what matters to us right now. So, by finding these channels where people are actively talking about their pain, your message isn't an interruption. It's a solution appearing at the exact moment of need. You achieve maximum relevance instantly. A billboard or a banner ad could never, ever do that. And the second principle is reciprocity. This is what powers that final step of the hunting system, hand-to-hand engagement. Your goal in these communities is to offer help, to share insights, to provide real value first, with absolutely no strings attached. This builds immediate trust, and it triggers this powerful psychological urge in people to give back. So when you finally do ask for feedback, or maybe suggest they try your solution, they're already primed to say yes, because you've already helped them. Okay. Let's bring all this theory down to earth and turn it into a concrete, actionable playbook. This is how you take the system and the psychology and actually put it into practice. It really just boils down to 3 core rules that will guide every single move you make while you hunt for those first 100 customers. See? It's a simple 3-part framework. Number 1, anchor everything you do in the customer's pain. Number 2, relentlessly focus all your efforts on the very specific channels where that pain is being expressed. And number 3, communicate using the exact language that you've mined from those channels. So let's start with anchoring in pain. You have to be brutally honest with yourself here. Ask yourself, is my solution a vitamin? A nice to have that people might get around to using someday? Or is it a painkiller? Something that solves an immediate, intense, throbbing problem? Niche hunting only works for painkillers. You have to target the people who are in so much pain that they are absolutely desperate for relief, right now. This principle is all about discipline. You have to resist the urge to be everywhere at once. Your resources, your time, your energy, they're finite. So you have to focus them like a laser on those 5 to 10 communities you identified earlier. Your goal is to become a known, helpful, trusted member of those communities. You go deep, not wide. The source of that emotional discussion is your only target. Period. And this is where the magic really happens. You take that treasure trove of voice of customer data you collected, the exact phrases, the slang, the emotional words, and you build your entire messaging around it. Your landing page, your emails, your outreach. When you use their language, it doesn't feel like marketing. It feels like a conversation with someone who finally gets it. This is how you achieve what's called message market fit, and it makes the customer feel seen, heard, and understood. All right, let's bring this all home. This entire system, this obsession with niches, with pain, with specific language, it's not just some clever trick for getting your first handful of customers.
It's about laying the strongest possible foundation for long-term, sustainable growth. It's a fundamental shift in how you should think about building a business from the ground up.
This right here is the central takeaway of our entire conversation today. We look at these massive companies and we assume their success came from some big, broad, all-at-once launch. But if you dig deeper, almost every single successful company started by obsessively serving a tiny, specific, often overlooked niche. The path to true scale, as the slide says, isn't a wide superhighway. It's a narrow, focused trail that you have to blaze yourself. This slide captures the new playbook perfectly. The old way was all about spending money to push people through a sales funnel, trying to compete in an ever louder marketplace. The niche hunter's way is about investing your time to deeply understand a specific group of people and then pulling them toward your value by engaging in the quiet corners of the internet where real, honest conversations are happening.
And we'll end with this thought. True product market fit isn't found by shouting at everyone. It's found by listening to the few. The best marketing isn't an act of persuasion, it's an act of discovery. It's about finding that one tiny, overlooked niche where the problem isn't just a whisper, it's a scream. And when you find that, you don't need a funnel. They'll come right to you.